Alright, my Z Warriors, we are back on the channel, and in this video, I would like to give my 2 zenny and review on the recent DLC released Bardock Alone Against Fate. Now, we just finished the whole DLC last night, and when I say whole DLC, that's everything, even the tough training ground. So, as we do this review, I'm just going to put some footage on from our videos that we've recently uploaded, our playthroughs, just so that we have something to go over. Don't worry about the ads, we'll skip on over those. But I'll firstly say that I have been yearning for more Kakarot content. The whole community, really, the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot community, as we fall into that category where we just love this game and everything that it stands for. The potential it has to sort of uplift the Dragon Ball Z franchise in video gaming, and this sort of what it created is so huge. And Bardock, and really season 2 past the details that we know, really can open up to all that. So we'll start off by talking about the story. The story 100% was just true to the movie, and it never really was a doubt that we were going to lose against Frieza, but and there was no real sort of hope that we would, but it was just good to go through the story. And just, the one thing that I found there was through the sub quests, it really built, and the cutscenes, which of course are always amazing, it really built up the relationship and showed us Bardock's relationship with his crew. And I appreciated that. And I really thought that it was a great way to do subquests and just get, again, background info on them, and even at one point fight alongside Vasha and Toro. It's kind of a shame that we weren't able to actually use any one of them, but it is what it is. For the most part, though, it was a great experience. I don't know how it would look like if we did get to use them, but I think it would have extended the subquest a little bit more, and or given us a little bit of more time to level up different characters in this DLC. But really, we are the majority, like 99.9% Bardock, and we'll get to the 0.01% later on. But overall, it was a great story. Personally, it took me about 6+ hours because I was taking my time. And in taking my time, as you can see here, I was doing, leveling up my stats there by making meals. And the only way you can make meals here is through the Saiyan settlement there. I had to buy, you can easily buy ingredients there at the food shop, and then just go right across the street to the lady who will make your food for you. But the other thing that it shows here is it gives us a glimpse of the Saiyans. And when you go to the food lady here and you talk to her, she actually goes, "What?" And I thought it was pretty funny. I thought that was, very telling of the Saiyans, of how they really are, and it was quite interesting to see how they were, even when they were the first couple scenes they're together in the sort of stomping grounds there, where how they would interact with each other. It was always about who's the strongest. It's really in their blood to be the best at what they do, which is just become stronger. So Bardock himself, I really did enjoy the voiceover. The voiceover for the English did really well, and gave us that real grit in his voice whenever he would scream, whenever he would make, those epic statements. And even in his combos, he has one where he holds his right hand and says, "Help me out here, guys." I thought that was really cool in terms of integrating his sort of camaraderie with his crew into his combos, which I thought was really cool. So again, I thought it was really awesome. And of course, we got to see the planet Vegeta with the Saiyan settlement, and of course Frieza's base there. It was a small little portion. It was a new map too as well. It wasn't a reused map as far as I can tell, and that was, gave us a good feel of what Planet Vegeta could be. I wish it was a little bigger, maybe give a little bit more different hubs, where the Saiyan settlement would be in one map, and then the Frieza base would be on another map, just like how it was in the main game. But it is just a DLC. It's not a full game, but again, it would make so there's us flying through planet Vegeta there, different sort of feel there, and there's the Frieza base. But I will say that you know it looked very old, and I don't know how to explain it, but that old feeling of Planet Vegeta, it being back then, because this is before the Z main story, so it was as you can see, they were just flying to get some orbs there, and early on when we were playing, yeah, we did a bunch of flying through enemies when we could, when we were higher enough level. Cybermen patrols, we just flew through them to get the orbs that we needed to power up as best as we can, as much as we can, and that was just the way that I played. Again, I took my time. I didn't rush this because I just wanted to enjoy it. After Story of Trunks, you just wanted to get something else in, and we had that. So, again, it was awesome seeing that. And then again, through the story, it gave us a glimpse of what the Saiyans did for Frieza in terms of taking over planets, which introduced this game's version of Horde Battle, which was more of a layered. See if we can find that here. I know we had. Well, this is the space battle, but it's kind of the same thing. Their version of the Horde battle here. Just wait for this intro. Again, we're just going to use our footage that we used when we were on stream there. So the Horde battles, and I mentioned there, I knew it was going to be just like the Horde battles, but how they did it here was when we were taking over the planets, they just gave us 4 different spots, and with the primary one having a bunch more enemies. So what it gave us is like 4 levels. So it was just kind of a layered Horde battle, which was cool and interesting. And again, the different mechanics was you had the Z combo counter there above the icon there, and it just represented when you can do the level 3 combo. And all I did find, and I could find, is the max you can get probably is about 135 when you max that, when you cross the 100 soldiers defeated, along with getting your combos around 300 to 400. That gives you a kill count when you use your Z combo at about 130 plus or 100 plus for sure. So I use that, sort of technique of just doing a lot of melee attacks as much as possible. I did throw a bunch of area effect attacks down as well. I found that it was effective here in this DLC, in this Horde battle, to do area of effect attacks, but still melee was my primary way of getting my combo meters up. And like I said, when I reached 100, I would use it. So I'd have to say again, I wish that there was this mechanic of that Z level combo in the actual individual battles that we have. Let's say like versus Dodoria versus Frieza, or even in the main game. Having that would have been, I think, another layer of combat. And you do a lot of fighting alone as Bardock here. I thought you'd do a little bit more. Again, there was one instance you did fight with Vasha and Torin that was taking over the planet Kanasa. And that was cool. And again, you had, of course, the same thing, access to your Z combos. But that whole taking over the planet, I did feel that for Bardock, where this was a job. This is what they do, and they enjoyed it. And even one of the planets that they took over there, they had a chance to go Great Ape, and there was a missed opportunity there for us to become the Great Ape. Now, would I want a transformation as a Great Ape? No, but in that instance where we were the Great Ape in a cutscene, it would be great if they would have just given us control for it, even for like 2-3 minutes. Let us destroy the cities. Just have us walk up to them and throw energy blasts. If that's all we can do as we're walking, there's aliens underneath our feet where we're crushing them or something like that. I thought that would have been really cool. Again, I didn't want a transformation of it, but to have that one part of us just being an ape, just destroying stuff, I think that would have given a different raw feel of the Saiyans and how they were before, so they can't go back on it now, but it's something that I hope that they consider in the future and maybe add it as a sub story, maybe, because who knows. But there was a lot of, I should say, when it comes to the story, a lot of little nuggets here and then. Here's the Z combo here that we're about to form. I did it at about 100, like I said, 300 damage, 360. But again, that's also dependent on how many soldiers that you have to fight or defeat or enemies. We only did 40 because, of course, we had to leave one for the 150. But that's kind of how I did the horde battles. But anyways, it gave a lot little nuggets here, especially the side stories. Little nuggets here of more backstory on the Saiyans, on Bardock. And I enjoy that. Look, the animation, again, the cutscenes are just fire. I love them. I love them. And what really accentuated all that was the music. The music, my goodness, it was really good. The battle music, everything that when you're going through, whether the story, the subquests, the battles, it just put that cherry on top, and it was mwah, it was chef's kiss, and I really enjoyed it. And here we are going against Doria, and we'll get a little bit more into that. But you know, whenever it came to fighting Frieza at the end, we knew what was going to happen, but it was nice to have new combos in the fight systems here. As you can see there, Spirit of the Warrior Race is the quote-unquote transformation. I more just deem it as just him raging a little bit, but you know, they had to give him something, and I'm okay with that. I really am, because it kind of makes sense that he gets pissed off on what happens to his friends there, and he uses that to fuel him when he's trying to get his revenge there on Frieza. So again, I appreciated that, and I actually did enjoy the boss battles here. I wish we had them a little bit more, and I wish that this would be something, again, we'll touch on this more a little bit later, but in the main game where you can just have versus battle. But again, we'll get into that in a bit later. So again, the new combos, loved them. Bardock's combos was it just looks so good. And from his supers and from his just melee attacks, I wish that there was some sort of customization where we can use the combo that he has and customize any of our characters that we use, and that'd be, of course, from the main story. But it's being it locked to Bardock, you can only use it obviously as Bardock. But then, you know, this is not that long of a DLC, and after you get to a certain point, what's next? I find that there's more replayability in the main story with quote-unquote training, but again, something we'll get into later. So it was good. So we're gonna forward here just to talk about also the Frieza battle. Once you get the boss's sort of combos and what they're gonna do in their super armor mode, it becomes really just a waiting game, and waiting until you can get your hits in. But I did enjoy this battle with Dodoria. Now we're gonna head over to the Frieza battle here, because I thought that was really cool. This Frieza here. Okay, we'll just skip this ad quickly. Like I said, we'll just use our own footage, because why not? So again, this Frieza battle, it felt easy. I did this on hard, and I didn't die here. Again, it was just more or less figuring out what they were going to do, what their movesets were. And once you figure that out, and I did use heal items here, because you could in story mode, but this was on hard, and it was easy. It was cool. You know he wasn't going to be any stronger than the level 300 Frieza we have in the second DLC. I liked how they integrated the old cutscenes here. I really did. It felt connected to the anime in more ways that just made you feel closer in the universe through this game. And that's why I love this game so much, because it does give you the feels. And you know, the feels I got here wasn't as strong as I did from the Trunks DLC, but we'll get into that a little bit later too. But yeah, this battle was fun. The Frieza fight was pretty good, but we knew what was going to happen at the end. But regardless, we all know anyways, because we know the story, but we wanted to see how this game retells it and shows it to us. And again, I appreciated that, the way that they did it. So now after we do the Frieza battle here, we get to unlock a Prince Vegeta substory. And it was one of the videos that I was going over, and yes, we definitely get to play Prince Vegeta here. It unlocks us right after the story, puts you outside of the settlement, which is weird because as soon as the planet is destroyed, you're back on planet Vegeta. So there was a little bit of a disconnect there, but it is what it is. Now, Prince Vegeta, talking about the combos I wish that we could sort of transfer. Prince Vegeta has like this rush move here that he does. It just did it there. But I wish that we can use that combo and bring that back to the main game. That's the combo right there, the melee combo. And this was really fun to control Prince Vegeta here for a bit. And whoever did the voice actor for Prince Vegeta, it was awesome. It captured essentially what we know of Prince Vegeta, like attitude and arrogance. It was good. I think the voice actor did a great job. And it was fun using Prince Vegeta. So after this, we actually get to use in this training mission here, we get to go take over a planet. And that's pretty much all we get to do. I wish we could use him a little bit more. And it would have, I think, made more sense if we could control him more while we were doing the main story, just like how we would transfer back and forth in the Z main story between Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta. I think that would have made that better. And then make this, after defeating Frieza, some sort of like, I don't know, what if scenario, or just him continuing on doing what he's doing in terms of taking over planets, especially after Planet Vegeta was destroyed. But I appreciated this. It was nice to at least be able to control him. Another missed opportunity is we had Nappa with hair, and well, we weren't able to control him at all. There's a lot of emphasis on single battle here, just you by yourself, and which again I appreciate, because even when I do villainous enemy runs, I don't use any support characters. I just like using the one character. So this was normal to me, but in this instance, since this was new, it would have been nice to have a time to use Nappa here, who had hair, and just see his moveset. And the one thing that surprised me, I didn't remember, again, I watched Bardock. It was a long time ago, but apparently Bardock's power level was actually stronger and higher than Nappa's, which kind of shocked me. So again, great opportunity there that was lost to try and control more characters from the Dragon Ball Z universe. But so after that story, again, you get sent to this planet to take it over, and again, all it is just a horde battle. Again, just taking over the planet by, you know, there's that enemy strength there, there's level 4, so all you had to do essentially was take it over, take down the 4 points, take down the bases, destroy the bases, and then get to the last point, and then that was it. That was essentially the story. And they ended off with Prince Vegeta finding out that the planet Vegeta was destroyed. The one thing that sucked too, though, as well, in my opinion, there was no actual King Vegeta. I don't know why they didn't put him in here. I thought that would have been something we would have seen, even just a glimpse. Again, maybe a training session between Prince Vegeta and King Vegeta to show more backstory there. But again, it's a DLC. Who knows what they were under in terms of developing and what they could or could not put in here. But again, just my little 2 zenny there on what I wanted and stuff that was missed. So again, that's just going through that story there. So, but then after that, you also, the main story, you also unlock something called the Tough Grounds, Tough Battle, which I think I did show off here. Did I? Pretty sure I did it. No, I didn't. Not here. Oh, wait, no, I did here. So we went to the training grounds here just to show off what was available. And what I'll say about this, again, this is kind of, pause it here. This is kind of like the end game here. Same thing. We're just repeating battles that we went through the story. So there's the Kanasans, the strong aliens, Dodoria's underlings, Dodoria and Frieza, and then it loops again up to 150. I think it shows it here. I scroll down here. But after the 150, that's it. So I guess what I've liked here is this concept also being transferred to the main game, where it is training that you can repeat these battles, as opposed to villainous enemy runs. You can just go to the battle that you want to go to, and there you go. It just goes up, and then the last 3 being legendary, meaning of course at the higher levels, but that just means you can't use any recovery items when you are fighting them. That's what makes it legendary. And you know that this to me gave me something to do here at the end game, and this is what I meant. I fully completed this just last night. We finished, as of this recording, finished the whole training grounds, everything that we could possibly do, and I think I got my Bardock up to 165 through this. And I did, like I said, I did some grinding, but it was relatively easy, the legendary battle, as long as you were careful. I got, you know, killed a couple times because I wasn't careful, I was being careless, but you know, it would be nice to have that sort of concept transferred to the main game, where you can fight Cell as opposed to fighting the whole Cell saga enemies. Just fight Cell, or you know, just Boo. That would be great. I think that would go a long way in breathing some new life. And also, and I've said this before, the only way you can boost your stats here is eating food. It would be nice if these training grounds, especially the tough ones, maybe just make it, especially when you get to the end game or after that, get to the highest level, is after a certain level. So for this one, your strongest enemy is 150. So when you, after 150, you start gaining not, you know, items to get, but maybe boost stats, boost to your stats. So plus 5 key or something like that, as opposed to just eating food. I get it, eating is essential, but I would rather gain that through training, quote unquote training, which makes more sense to me than eating food, but it is what it is. And the other thing here, it being at max 150, I wish that it would actually push it more and keep repeating up to 300 to the max, just to give you something to do. But that's also what they did in Story of Trunks. The highest level training partner you can do, there's Deborah at, I think, 117. That's it. So after you do all the story subquests, the training, get all your know-hows, get all your skills filled out, you're done, essentially. So again, to have more replayability, I wish they would have gone to max 150. So the other thing here, a lot of people were expecting, I wasn't necessarily, but it would have been nice. That's a good looking, talking about eating there, getting stronger, is no Super Saiyan transformation. Now that would have meant we had to have fought Lord Chill. There could be a possibility that we can get that down the road, but I would like it to just be like an additional sub-story, as they did in the main story of Z, when they added the Potara fusion and the for Vegito and the Gotenks fusion there. So it's something that I didn't mind. It wasn't in the movie, but it would have been nice to have there. And really, like I'd said before during the stream, when it comes to the second season pass, this opens up so much more to future DLCs being everything encompassed in Z, and even Dragon Ball now, and even possibility Super. So our next DLC, DLC 5, is going to be the tournament in Dragon Ball, which can open up, like I've been saying, the Tournament of Power. Now, I wouldn't want it to be added right away. If they're going to expand more the Z story, the Dragon Ball story, sure, I'm up for it. But in future season passes, I would like them to include, of course, you know, Cooler, Broly, Gogeta, Fusion Reborn, because that fusion is already in game because of Gotenks. So it's not like it's not there. They can just do it, right? And we'll be able to have like Janemba, the Janemba fight, and all that. Now, even it opens having GT in here. I know a lot of people don't like GT, but my personal transformation favorite is Super Saiyan 4. And I would love to have GT content here in Kakarot, just like any other game in Dragon Ball. Budokai Tenkaichi even had GT characters back in PS2 days. Even now, Xenoverse, Fighter Z have GT characters, so I hope that they expand it to that, having that and my personal favorite transformation in there. So this is not a perfect game at all. I've always said that, but it's really super close to being what I would want in a Dragon Ball Z game. We still didn't get the fixed auras. That's something I wish that they would work on, but regardless, you get all the feels here. Now, I'm going to rate this a solid 8. Initially it was 7, but I'm going to rate this an 8 out of 10. Trunks' story was way better in terms of length, but also in feel. You felt very helpless when you were leveling up. You felt the loss of Gohan. You felt the androids were just a complete menace in trying to defeat them. And the loss of course, Gohan, like I said, and Supreme Kai, you really did have that emotional connection. Now, I am not a huge Bardock fan, but this DLC made me connect to the character more. And still, you know, a lot more characters that I hold above him, but regardless, having this DLC was awesome. I do not regret it. I personally bought the Season 2 pass, and here in Canada, it's 50 something. I just bought it from the PlayStation Store. So I don't regret it, and I'd rather have the season pass and support the game, which hopefully again opens up to more season passes. So overall, like I said, 8 out of 10. I had fun with this. I took my time. I enjoyed it. I was geeking out. I was using all the training that led up to the Bardock DLC in terms of the combat and what I knew, how to level up, and it gave me a better experience overall, knowing what to expect. And I would say it exceeded my expectations because, like I said, I was not a Bardock fan. So, and again, I just hope that it just opens up more season passes, more DLCs. I, again, am looking forward to more content, and hopefully, most likely, GT being a game would be awesome. So that is it for this video. Again, I thought I would drop my 2 zenny on the Bardock DLC, and we'll probably do a little bit more of content for Bardock, maybe showing how we leveled up, stuff like that, and or how to do combos, but I can also show that off of the main game, or how at least I fight, because you know, you do have a little customization here, and you can actually, I'm more of a melee style and finishing off with and trying to get the stun gauge down and get the cinematic finishes, because it just feels a lot better. And that's kind of what you see in Dragon Ball Z throughout the years of the cinematic finishes. So that's just kind of my combat style. But again, once again, solid 8 out of 10. Let us know what you think, Z Warriors, of this. So like the video, comment below, let us know what you're looking forward to, or what you think is coming next after the 5th DLC, the tournament. And then of course subscribe here to the channel, where we will try to do more Kakarot content. Even though I don't cover it mainly, it is still one of my favorite things that I grew up here. So that's it for this video. So to my Z Warriors, just keep training.